We're here with a very special bike for our British viewers today. It's none other than Alex Dowsett's Canyon Ultimate CF SLX. Let's take a closer look. The bike that Alex Dowsett is choosing to ride is the Ultimate. Now the Ultimate is the company's lightest option. He could be riding the aero, and we might see him on the aero later in the race. The team have a choice of bikes, the Ultimate for the hillier stages and the aero for the flatter breakaway specialists, and the Speed Max for the time trial on Sunday. We're probably seeing Alex Dowsett focusing on the time trial, but for today, going on a training ride in a few hours time, he's riding the Ultimate CF SLX. As you might know, Alex Dowsett is quite a tall guy, he's 6 foot, and we've had to take measure on the bike. And it's a size medium frame with a 55 centimetre top tube. His saddle height from the bottom bracket to the top of the saddle is 78 centimetres. He's then got a 120mm stem and a 41 centimetre wide handlebar. This is the company's Canyon's own aero handlebar, a one-piece handlebar made from carbon fibre with the cables and hoses internally routed, and it combines the low weight and stiffness and the maximum aerodynamics by reducing that frontal surface area. So those are key measurements. Other key details about this bike include the brand new SRAM red ETAP Axis 12-speed group set, and he's running a 50-37 crankset on the front with a 10-28 cassette on the back. Now, one interesting detail, as I mentioned, Alex Dowsett is 6 foot tall, so he's quite a tall chap, but he's running 170mm cranks, which are quite short for a rider of his height. So a usual crank length is 172.5. Some of the taller riders go for a 175, a bit more leverage. But Alex Dowsett obviously likes a high cadence. Maybe it's due to his time trial focus, he's going for shorter cranks. It's all down to personal preference. There's no right or wrong when it comes to crank lengths, but yeah, 170s is slightly unusual in the pro peloton, especially for a tall guy. As you can see, the bike is rocking disc brakes. For the whole season, Katusha have been using disc brakes. One of the growing number of teams that are fully embracing disc brakes. It's just much easier for the mechanics to have one braking system rather than some guys on rim brakes and some guys on disc brakes, and then all the spare wheels and spare bikes you need. The whole team on disc brakes is much easier because you've got fixed race sizes, which on this is 160 at the front and 140 on the back, and the same through axle system, so no issues with changing wheels and spares. The wheels in question are the very funky looking Zip NSW 454 wheels, which use a sawtooth profile. Now the idea is basically to combine the benefits of a deep section wheel, but minimising the weight and the crosswind instability you get from a deep section wheel to give what Zip claims maximum aerodynamic performance. One other detail you'll notice on the hubs is to help the mechanics identify the right wheels for the rider. Alex Dowsett has got his name on the hubs front and rear as well, so it's a nice little detail. Not seen that on any other team bikes, so that's all to do with the logistics of the race. When you've got so many bikes and so many spare wheels, keeping track of all the parts and making sure you've got the right wheels on the right bike, even though they're basically running all the same kits, just make the mechanics' life a little bit easier. Final detail on this bike, you've got 25mm wide Continental Competition Pro Limited tubular tyres. So they're tubular tyres glued to the rims. You've got Look Keo Blade carbon pedals. You've got a Seditalia saddle with a very large cutout. I mean, it's so large I can see the top of the saddle clamp there. And as you can see, it's pushed quite forward on the rails there. And the other detail is the out front computer mount there for his computer, which is not here at the moment because he probably got in the hotel room charging, ready for today's training ride in a few hours' time. So that is Alex Dowsett's very nice looking Canyon Ultimate CF SLX. It'll be fascinating to see how he gets on in the time trial on Sunday and later on in the race at this year's Tour de France, and how he gets on in the race in general. We'll definitely be rooting for him here at road.cc as a fellow British rider. Let us know what you think of this bike in the comment section below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's hear your thoughts on this bike. If you've got any questions as well, do put them down below. But that's all for now. We're going to check out some other bikes from this year's Tour de France. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoy watching it, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you again next time.